Hello, welcome back. This is the sewing tutorial of the princess that bustier we drafted in my previous video. If you have not watched it, please go ahead and watch it before you watch this one. In this video, I show you the step-by-step method to sew a fitted princess that bustier with clean finishing. So this is the pattern that we've drafted. You are going to need your lining. I'm going to be using this herbal lining. You need your zipper, you need your fabric, and you need a wording for this. I used the medium size wording. So let's cut it. So fold your lining into two this way. Don't forget that we have two pieces for the front. So this particular one is called the center piece. So for this center piece, it will be cut on fold. Please don't forget, it will be cut on fold. The reason we are cutting it on fold is because it is at the front and it is going to be opened into two. So by the time you open it into two, you can fix both the side of the bustier to it. So this is me placing the pattern on my lining. I am cutting on the lining, so from the lining I will cut on my fabric because I don't really like choking my fabric. So when I'm using a lining for a particular dress, I love to just chalk on the lining. So at the neckline of this, I am adding ½ inch. So at the shoulder, go ahead and add ½ inch to it. The reason we are adding ½ inch is to use this lining to turn the fabric. At the shoulder, I'm going to join both the front piece and the back piece together. That is why I'm adding the ½ inch. So at the side of the center front or center piece, please just keep adding ½ inch. So at the down part, to join, you know I said mine is going to be a gown. If you are going to do a flare as well, you can add ½ inch, but for me I added 1 inch. At that point, I'm just trying to curve that part very well. Don't forget, when you are cutting, not your under bust. Not your under bust. That will assist you or help you to know where your under bust is on the center piece, so that when you are joining the side of the bustier to it, you won't make mistakes. So please note your under bust. So let's proceed to the cutting of the side of the front piece, the bustier itself. So this is the bustier. I'm going to place it on my fabric. At the side, I am adding 2 inches. I think I mentioned it in the drafting tutorial that I added 2 inches to the side. This is for sewing allowance for the side. So at the side, like I mentioned, I added 2 inches. When I got to the armhole part, I added ½ inch. If you don't understand, just watch closely what I am doing here. Do you see where I added ½ inch? You can rewatch so that you won't make mistakes. So I am adding ½ inch at the armhole part of this side of the bustier. So at the side that I'm going to be joining to the center part of this bustier, I am going to add ½ inch. This is what I'm doing there. I can actually do it without using the measuring tape, but if you can do it without measuring tape, go ahead. If you cannot, that is why I'm using the measuring tape, so that you all can see what I am doing. Make sure that that part is curved very well. So at the down part, because everything is going to be joined together to the down piece, the flare piece of this gown, so I'm going to be adding 1 inch. So after that, go ahead and cut the side piece of this bustier. When you are done cutting, there's no need to notch the under bust for this side of the bustier because it's already pronounced. You can see it already, so there's no need to notch it. Please watch closely where I am cutting and make sure that that curvy part is curved well, because that is the secret of every bustier. At this point, I bring back my center piece and I just notched the under bust there. So let's proceed to cutting the back. Remember, when I was cutting the back, I did not add a zipper allowance to the back piece of this pattern, but I'm going to be adding the 1 inch for zipper allowance on the fabric. I think I mentioned it in the drafting tutorial that I posted. So make sure you pin it down, and if you don't want to pin it, you can actually use your hand to hold it, but it won't be easy that way. So at the zipper side, I am adding 1 inch all through. So when I got to the neckline, I am going to be adding 1/2 inch to the neckline so that I can use the lining to turn the fabric as well. So on the down part, the hemming part, where I'm going to use to join the down part of this gown. Remember, I said it's a gown, so I added 1 inch. At the side of this back piece, I am going to be adding 2 inches for sewing allowance. At the armhole, I added 1/2 inch. I just traced that armhole part to the 2 inches I measured earlier so that they will be straight. It won't bend. I just want to know where it stops at that 2 inches side. So on the shoulder part, go ahead and add 1/2 inch. I mentioned earlier that on the neckline, I added 1/2 inch. So just make sure that your allowances are very, very intact and correct. So let's proceed to the cutting. If you have watched to this point and you have not given me a thumbs up or even subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe so that when I post the next tutorial, you'll be the first to see it. Turn on your notification bell as well. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for subscribing. So let's go ahead. After cutting this, I'm going to proceed to cut it on my fabric. So I've cut this on my fabric, and it is time to start cutting the wording for the front part of this dress. For a bustier, you only need the wording for the front part. There's no need for wording for the back. The reason we are using wording is because of the breast there. So let me teach you how to cut a wording as if it is a cup. So at the under bust, I went down by 1 inch because I want it to be like 1 inch lower to the under bust. So after this, I just folded my fabric so that I will know where that 1 inch stops. So I'm just going to trace out that cup. Do you see that? And when I get to my under bust, do you see it? Just trace it out. Can you see that? And mind you, this wording, we all know that wording have a shiny face, and then it has the face that is not shining. It is the shiny face that I'm going to be placing on the wrong part of this fabric. So do you see that? I'm trying to show you the shiny face is what is going to be on the wrong part of this fabric, while the right side is going to just be there. So I've cut the two together, and then I'm going to use my iron to press it. So let's go ahead and cut the center piece, the wording for the center piece of this bustier. I actually made a mistake here. I'm showing you that I have notched my under bust. Like I was saying, I made a mistake. Before I talked about the mistake, come down by 1 inch on the under bust line like you did for the side, because I want them to all be equal. So after that is the mistake I made here. If you see, when I placed it, just look at it. I'm showing you the shiny side and the wrong side. You see that there's an excess at the armhole part. There shouldn't be an excess there. The wording should reach that side. So when you are cutting your own, please make sure that your own wording reach that side. So I just traced out. I noticed that it's big, then I just trim it out that way. So it is time to sew. I have used my iron to press the wording. I have pressed at the center part and I have pressed at the side of the bustier. So let me show you how to sew it. This is where the real thing is. That is my under bust that I have notched there. So place it right side facing each other. I'm going to zoom in the camera soon so that you will see what I am sewing. So sew with 1/2 inch that we left. Always start sewing your bustier from the down part. Don't ever start from the upper part, you won't get it. So when you sew and you reached the under bust, put in your needle inside our under bust, raise your footer up and then turn it. This is what I did. I raised my footer up and then I turned it. To get a perfect curve, you have to do this. So after that, ensure that you are sewing with your allowance that you left. I left 1/2 inch. When I was adding my allowance, I explained that I left 1/2 inch. So I am sewing with the 1/2 inch that I left. Don't ever add to your sewing allowance when you are sewing a bustier. Don't ever. Sew with the allowance that you left. If you are trying to struggle at that point, raise your footer again, adjust it, put down your footer and continue sewing. It is very easy and very simple to get. It is not hard at all. If you don't understand, please watch again. That is a 1 inch excess that we left when we were drafting the pattern. It is better it is excess than it is not at all. Do you see this curve? Can you see it? So I am notching it. When you are done sewing, please notch it so that it can feel relaxed. If you do not notch it, it's not going to feel relaxed. You are not going to get the result I got in my own. So after notching it, can you see it? Zoom it, see the curve. Can you see the curve? So go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. Can you see we have not even ironed it though, it's already standing on its own. You don't need to add a boning, you don't need to add something that will make it stand. Just follow this pattern and then you will get what I have gotten. At this point, the NEPA have taken the lights. So this is me showing you I have not ironed it. So let's go and iron. Since the light has been taken, I am going to just use a stove iron for the ironing. I made this tailor's arm by myself and it's very simple to make. So this is what I'm going to be using to mold my bustier. If you like, you can add stay, can add all this. I just don't like adding all these things. Follow this pattern and you will see how standing your bustier is going to look. Some people even use this wording and still add bra cup. I didn't see any essence in that, but follow, I am saying it again, follow this method and you will see how standing your bustier will look like. And please don't forget, you need a tailor's arm to get this effect I have gotten in my own video. Without the tailor's arm, I'm sorry, you will not be able to get what I have gotten. Notch it when you are done sewing. Use your tailor's arm to mold it very well. I see some people using a triangle tailor's arm. You can't get the effect. Your tailor's arm must be round because our bust is round. So I am opening this seam and then I am ironing it. Open it up and iron it. Open it up and keep ironing. Keep ironing, keep ironing. So that's what I kept on doing in this place. I am using my stove iron. So when you get to the under bust, just open it up. You don't need to use tailor's arm to iron the under bust. So see what we have here. After molding, can you see this? This is the one I have ironed. That side I have not ironed it. Can you see the difference? I am still going to iron it on the right face of the fabric. Iron it on the wrong face and then turn it to the right face and then iron it. At this point, my iron is getting cold and I think I don't like what it's giving me. So at some point I have to just go and put it back on the gas. So do you see the difference now? Can you see this? I love this method so much. So go ahead and open up the other side of the bustier and iron it as well. I have done that off camera. So the 1 inch that we left at the armhole part for the joining of the main piece to the side piece of the bustier, I am just going to cut it off because we don't need it. It is better it is excess than it not being enough. Do we see what we have here? So go ahead and do the same thing for your lining. I did this off camera and that was the result. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video.